if you feel like you felt that way this summer, or that you felt like maybe you took some steps back on your journey, like, I just want to say, okay. I know. Your girls have made very many YouTube videos in the last like 2 months, and this video that you're about to watch is kind of like an update video of sorts that honestly I don't really think scrapes the surface, because truthfully, I mean, mental health is like a real thing, and there are so many things that went on in the last 2 months that I will never be able to convey in a video. A lot of like focusing inward and planning things for YouTube, a lot of projects that I'm super stoked to like finally release to the world in the next little bit. But truthfully, I'm gonna admit it's not a very good update video. It's not great, but for therapeutic reasons and for selfish reasons, because I just feel like I have to get it out there, I'm gonna post. So anyways, at the beginning of this video, I just wanted to pop in here really quickly to take this opportunity to say, well, one, obviously, if you saw in the title, I'm not leaving YouTube. This video sort of kind of explains why, but I want to ask you 3 really quick questions before we get into this video as a favor. One, who do you want to see on the podcast? Who do you want me to interview? What topics, what experts do you want me to find? Whether that's like your favorite Instagrammer, your favorite YouTuber, or maybe an expert on a topic like palm oil, or like something crazy that we can talk about and enlighten the world on our sustainable and self-care living journeys. Who do you want to see on the podcast? Question number 2 is, what pressing videos do you want me to focus on making right now? What do you want me to share right now currently? And number 3, I guess, is sort of kind of an announcement. I guess I'm just saying, like, I'm back, and not only am I back, I'm back in full swing, promising myself that I'm gonna make 2 YouTube videos a week. And I just wanted to ask you guys a favor, because I'm someone who's so held accountable by other humans. If you guys don't see me uploading twice a week, any week, I need you to yell at me. No matter what place you can possibly yell at me at, whether that's in the comments of my YouTube videos, whether that's sending me a DM or an email, I need peer pressure. I need you guys to yell at me. That would be incredible. I'll also open up this section to like feedback and criticism in hopefully like a positive light, like be gentle, be nice with me, but I do need like some sort of constructive criticism on like, what have you found that I've done wrong and what could I do better? I really am trying to be the best sustainability, veganism, ethical fashion, ethical living resource of knowledge that I possibly can be. I'm like learning more and more how to take constructive criticism, but I would like to open it up in the comments of this video to like, feel free to leave me anything, preferably in a positive light, because I'm still human, but it's helpful. But yeah, regardless, I will be here 2 videos a week starting now. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this update video. If you've been reading my email newsletters, then you probably have a gist of what's been going on, because I have been trying to send those out as often as I can, and usually like the written letter that I do at the beginning kind of explains what's been going on. So if you want a more detailed version, you can read my email newsletters. I usually put them up on my website after they go out, so you can do that, or you can sign up for the email newsletter. Okay, enjoy this random update. If you feel like watching it, I would suggest that you probably put on like the speed to at least 1.5 to speed the video up a little bit, but yeah, anyways, I love you guys. Thank you for being patient with me. And I'm sorry that the 2 videos that I tried to come back with were sponsored. Honestly, it just sort of happened. It's kind of a long story, but I also just didn't want to get sued for the contracts that I had signed for those. So they had to go up back to back, which is super shitty. I don't have any sponsorships lined up at all in the future currently. So how I'm paying my rent in 2 weeks, I'm not entirely sure. But that's it. That's life, I guess. Anyways, enjoy this random update. Okay, hi guys. This is probably gonna be like one of the more real and raw videos I've made in a while. Wow, I didn't realize until today that these leggings had like dots on them. They're from Organic Basics, if you were wondering. But I'm clearly making this video on my iPhone just because it's all I really have time for today. And honestly, I wasn't really planning on filming anything today. I like tried coming back to YouTube last week without making a proper update, because I was like, I don't think it's that crazy of an update, so I don't feel like it really warrants a video. But a video, but I just feel like the last month and a half of my life has been a lot of emotion, which I think is a good thing. I think that for whatever reason, like every summer, I don't know if anybody else feels the same way, like every summer I have this like really deep inward reflecting period. I mean, I feel like it happens a couple times a year, but every summer without a doubt. And I don't know if that's just because my birthday is in the summer. I just had my 25th birthday. That's another thing. Like maybe it was a midlife crisis, quarter life crisis. And I do think that like going through an experience of getting to know yourself more, asking yourself questions, like I think it's a good thing. I think anytime that we feel off and we acknowledge that we feel off, I think that that's a very wonderful and beautiful thing of like an opportunity to connect with yourself more. Without going too far into this, I wanted to make sure I said this at the beginning of the video. A lot of what my reflection has been on is like YouTube and what I'm doing here, and questioning if I was smart enough to be here, and I guess like a little bit of imposter syndrome, but like I genuinely felt like if I continue doing YouTube, which I'll talk about in a minute, if I continue doing YouTube, like I want to use this opportunity that, I mean, I wouldn't say I've been given because I've worked my butt off in the last couple years to like make videos. Since 2014, I've been making YouTube videos, and it's only within like the last year that it would appear that there's an audience here, which is super cool and groovy. But anyways, I would like to use this opportunity, if I do have a platform of some sort, to really be a good source of knowledge to like, especially within the sustainability and environmental thing. Like I sometimes feel dumb because I didn't study environmental sciences in school, and I've mentioned this before. Like I'm no expert on the planet, even though I'm claiming to be, if that makes sense. Like the point of this channel is just me trying to be a good human for the planet, and to try and see, you know, becoming the best version of myself, and try and see what changes I can make in my life, not only for the planet, but just overall wellness, you know, for my body, for the animals, for the planet around us, for the people around us. Like that's the point of this channel, and will always be the point of this channel. And I'm really just on this journey with everyone. I'm figuring it out as I'm going, even though maybe sometimes it seems like I'm an expert. Like someone was asking me about nuclear energy this morning, and I was just like, see, that's a perfect example of like, I'm sometimes not smart enough. Like I'm still learning about non-renewable energy sources and all kinds of stuff, because environmentalism, and I like, that's the other thing. I don't even consider myself an environmentalist. I'm just trying to live my life as I've always lived my life, being a happy being, but also not hurt the planet at the same time. Like I'm not out here to go off grid, and I almost said join a commune, although joining a commune sounds so lovely sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, you know what I'm saying. So what I'm getting at is like, a lot of my reflection is just like, how can I use my platform as intentionally as possible? How can I use my time and like this opportunity to do research and provide knowledge, and you know, be helpful to people who are just living their regular lives, and they don't maybe have time to go out of their way and research like a zero-waste skincare routine, or non-renewable energy sources, or regenerative agriculture. Like I want to be able to provide information to people, you know what I'm saying. So with that being said, after that 3-minute monologue, what are the topics that you want me to explore more? I'm currently researching palm oil, and I think I've like gathered my findings enough. If you follow me on Patreon, then you know I did a mini podcast about like what my beliefs are. I'll eventually bring that over to YouTube at some point. Also like greenwashing and like FTC guidelines around that. Those have been the two things that I've been researching lately. Different fabric choices, and what goes into all of that. But like, what are the big topics that you want me to do research on? Like, I'm more than happy to do that. And
Anyways, so yeah, so that was part of it, and definitely part of it was just, quarter life crisis, kind of stuff of like how I want to use this platform. Part of it too was just like summer vacation, met my boyfriend's extended family who are certainly very far from vegan stuff. So that was fun and exciting. We've been going on like a lot of backpacking trips, which has been super fun. I'm so lucky to live out in the Pacific Northwest. I think moving here was probably one of the best things I ever did for myself. I thought, like, as much as I thought New York City my whole life was for me, like, I genuinely growing up thought I was destined for New York City, and then I moved there and really did not like it. I think moving here genuinely was like the best thing I've ever done for myself. And I've said that too many times, but I also, like, it's how I feel, and I feel super grateful because I did move around so much growing up. Oh, another thing, guys, I'm like almost eligible. Oh, no, I am eligible for my citizenship. So that's crazy, super real. Yeah, so there's that. Another thing, and I really hope she's okay with me mentioning this on the internet, but my best friend, one of my best friends, I will leave her name out of this, got diagnosed with cancer of sorts, and I've obviously been trying to be there for her as much as I can, and because it's like a scary thing, obviously, and I think it's been really, she's an incredible human being, and I'm so proud of her for going through all of this, and she's actually in surgery currently, so I'm waiting for a phone call from her mom to hopefully reassure me that she's okay. But yeah, that's been a big thing. I guess those are like really the big lifestyle things. Honestly, like a lot of my reflection, I was just like, am I made for being on YouTube? Like, I think, again, like within the last year, there's all of a sudden human beings watching my life, and comments can get personal. That was another thing, is there was 2 different comments that I received about 2 separate things, and that's kind of what started all of this and me kind of going inward. And one of them was about, directly about my appearance, and I do question, like, genuinely, and I mean this without, because I know that this is going to come off as like a feel bad for me, like in no way feel bad for me, in no way, like I acknowledge I have a huge privilege in my life, and I'm still learning every day how to navigate the world from a position of privilege. But like I do question, like, genuinely, the internet doesn't need another like skinny white girl who fits modern day beauty standards. Like, that genuinely is something that I am aware of, but it's also, I can't change who I am. And so I wrestled with that for a while. I was like, does the internet need me? Like, am I even a good role model? Because I do take that very seriously, and I would hope that nobody watching my platform ever feels like they want to be me or need to be me or anything. And I'm still, again, like, I'm still trying to learn the best way to navigate that, but I will figure it out. And the other comment kind of like questioned my ethics, which is a tough one. And again, like, I acknowledge that I'm still learning, and I'm still, it's good when you guys call me out on mistakes that I've made, but it made me think, like, am I smart enough to be here? Which then it goes back to everything I was saying before about, like, I'm still learning, and I'm still trying my best to be a good resource. Like, I genuinely want to be a resource to help people as best as I can. And it comes down to like everything, like not only learning how to be a good resource, but also learning, how does one film videos without, making sure that they're in frame, everything's good, nothing's blurry. How does one interview people in my podcast, which has been so fun. I genuinely adore the podcast more than anything. I adore making my email newsletter more than anything, so much. I put a lot of pressure on myself with like the Patreon community as well. Like, I want to make sure that I'm delivering value over there. I did just start too in the last couple weeks, like we started a Facebook group for everybody on Patreon, which has been so incredible to be a part of, and to everyone just sharing different things that they're learning or things that they've accomplished along their journey. And it's been really nice to like have this sense of community. And then also we started doing like phone calls, like actual, like not even phone calls, like I've been FaceTiming with people like one-on-one for an hour, and that's just been so fun because YouTube does get lonely sometimes. You know, I'm sitting in my room by myself, editing by myself, filming things by myself. But yeah, it's been really fun. Another update is I have 2 beautiful new assistants helping me out, and they're gonna help me like do some of my emails and things, which is gonna be so freaking helpful, because then that clears up space for me to you know, go research things and make things rather than like sitting on my computer all day answering emails. Oh, I'm so grateful for them, Lexi and Shelby. I'm so excited for this journey, and even if they help me out for like a week, it's gonna be great. But I genuinely so endlessly thankful for everything. And yeah, I don't know, again, like it's not that many updates. I've now been blabbing for like 12 minutes, but that's kind of where my head's been. It's just been like a lot of confusing things, but also lovely in the same way, just like deep reflecting and making sure that I'm gonna be here properly, organizing myself. That was another thing. I took a couple weeks to just deeply organize myself so that I had the broadband and the plans for the next couple months worth of videos, up to a year. Like my goal for my 25th year on this planet, or is it technically your 26th? Because you know, you turn 1 after you've already spent a year on the planet. So technically I've completed 25 laps around the sun. So technically this is my 26th year, if you really want to look at it that way. Anyways, and what was I just saying? Oh, just like my goal for the year, because I did talk about this on Patreon, like my thoughts on birthday presents for ourselves. I set a goal every year. That's my birthday present to myself. And I think that that's the best birthday present you can get yourself, better than a monetary object, is new skills, new challenges, stepping outside of the box. If you want to listen to more, you can do so at patreon.com/SenatoChristina, where I go into depth. But yeah, my goal for the year is to try my best to make 2 videos a week. I know that most weeks it's not going to be like that, but my goal is to every Monday and Wednesday dedicate to filming days. Whether or not every video goes live will be its own thing, but I want to have 2 filming days a week. I want to film 2 videos a week and make as many podcasts as I can. Podcasts are harder because you are bound to another human, whereas like a video I can just like make on my own. So yeah, that's been my goal for like the last year, but this year I'm now like trying to take it as seriously as possible. Yeah, anyways, I hope that this maybe clarifies things. People probably didn't watch this that far. This is just an inside on this old noggin here. It, again, like, I think that there's nothing wrong with taking time to reflect and go inward and do all of that. And if you feel like you felt that way this summer, or that you felt like maybe you took some steps back on your journey, like, I just want to say, and I did do a pretty extensive, like, written, I always, in my email newsletter, I do, like, written things that I've learned that week or been thinking about. I think it's totally okay to digress on your journey, to take a couple steps back. I think that's totally normal and okay and beautiful and wonderful, because every step back, you will take more steps forward and you will learn, and it's a continual journey. There's no end point. Like, life is about growing and evolving and learning things. And also, I feel like every time I feel like I've digressed at all on my journey, it makes me question why I digressed, and it makes me question what my triggers are, which I then can eliminate stepping back in the future. And yeah, I mean, I personally, like, I don't want anybody to be like, I hope you're okay, I hope you're feeling well. I've been good the whole time, just like, you know, in and out of funks and being confused and just like in deep thought, which again is okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there have been within the last month like moments of depression. I think also because I'm so connected to creating things. Like if I have a week where I don't film a video, I don't feel very good about it because I like making videos. Like I do it because I love it. And yeah, I've even, like, I talk to the people in my life and they're like, well, obviously that's the reason. We notice a huge difference in you when you are making things versus when you're not making things. And I'm like, oh, it all makes sense now. Which, yeah, another thing, if you're feeling like you're in a funk at all, like talk to the human beings in your life. Very important. So yeah, those are the things that are on my mind currently. I did a great interview with the founder of Osea this morning. That'll be up on the podcast next week on Patreon, and then the following week everywhere else. If you saw today, a podcast with Kamea Shane from Green Dreamer podcast went live on my Patreon, and on iTunes, the Recycling 101 conversation that I had with Ryan of Ridwell went up. So those are exciting. Yeah, I've still kind of been around. Like, I just am not always on YouTube. Like, sometimes I spend time on Instagram, sometimes I spend time on my email newsletter, sometimes I spend time on Patreon, sometimes I spend time on my podcast. But I've been around, but just not as... I do have a lot of things to juggle. That was the other thing. I was like, why am I doing so many different platforms? But it's because I truly enjoy all of them, so I don't really want to give any of them up, at least right now. But just like might need to reconfigure some things. But anyways, yeah, that's where I've been at. The other thing is the ebook. We're not even going to go down that path, but it will be out within the next couple of weeks. I promise. I had some technical difficulties, to say the least, as in all of my photography is missing. So months worth of photos gone, but we'll survive. So, you know, not as upbeat of a video as normal. This is where I'm at. Sorry I blabbed for 100 years. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all doing scrumptiously, having a swell day. And I'm super pumped for this year. I'm pumped to be 25. I feel like it's a good one. You know, I'm going to continue to learn and educate myself and share as much as I can. And it feels really nice to be back in general. So yeah, let me know what kind of videos, what kind of topics, what kind of everything you want me to cover. Even people you want me to interview on the podcast, whether it's your favorite author of a new book or your favorite podcast host, your favorite Instagram human, or just someone that you think's work and knowledge needs to be shared. Because that's why I started the podcast too. Like, it's one thing to make YouTube videos and to share things that I'm learning, but I feel like if I do have this platform, it's nice to be able to share other people's work and other people's voices and things that they've worked really hard on that deserve to be shared with even a small fraction of the world. I'm like really proud to be a part of this community. But yeah, I'm gonna probably like lay low in the next couple of days just because I want to make sure my friend's okay from her surgery and everything, and it's gonna be crazy. And then I've got my skincare routine coming up. I've got back to school stuff coming up next week. I've got the apartment tour finally. I'm gonna hang these finally. They've been sitting on top of our couch for a while. And a plethora of other things, but those are the immediate ones that are coming in the next couple days. So, yeah, okay. I hope you're all doing swell, and I love you. And don't forget that all my links to all the other spots that I hang out on are in the description of this video. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. Remember to stay happy, humble, and forever compassionate. I love you guys so, so much. Bye.